Hello and welcome. My name is Dennis Leante and I love playing the guitar. Today we will explore the chromatic scale. When I say the chromatic scale, I'm not referring to this. Or this. These are great finger coordination exercises, but the chromatic scale that I am talking about is the parent scale, where all of the 12 notes come from. It is where all of the melodic and harmonic intervals come from. It is where the triads, 7 chords, extensions, and all of the scales and modes are derived from. Knowing the chromatic scale will open up a lot of doors for you to understand music theory and how things work together, especially if you want to learn how to solo and improvise. The first step in learning anything before understanding an application is to remember or memorize. So I have a couple of chromatic scale patterns that you can use in your practice session to help you remember how it is laid out on the fretboard of the guitar. At first, you do not need to understand or apply the scale yet. You are only memorizing it on the neck. You may even stay on this part of the video and repeat it a couple of times, even for a few days, before moving on. As you can see, if we start in any note and play half steps, we will arrive on the same note name after 12 notes. Like in this case, E to E, the 12th fret E. All of the notes in between bridge the two notes. But after 12 notes, the note will be higher or lower depending on the direction you're going. We call this distance or interval an octave. There are two things that confuse a lot of people when trying to visualize or understand the nature of the guitar. The first one is the repeated notes. If you look at this notation or tablature, I am playing a C note on the 20th fret on the E string. It is notated as this. This is a C note. You don't need to understand notation, but this is how it's written on the staff. Now, if I play the same C on the 15th fret, it will be the same one. Same with the 10th fret, same with the 5th and the 1st fret. So you can see how this confuses a lot of people. So when you're trying to visualize things, a lot of the notes actually repeat when compared to a piano. So I think this one is in C4, if I'm not. Yeah, it's in C4. So if we look at the keyboard view or the piano view, there's only one C4. Okay? But for the guitar, that note C range is repeated 5 times. So that causes a lot of confusion to a lot of people. So take note of that. And if you look at this, these are the same set of notes, E, F, F sharp, and G, played at different frets, and they are all notated the same way. Now, another source of confusion is the way the guitar is tuned. Okay? So, I'm sure you know that E, A, D, G, B, E. So if I play a power chord G5 like this, the note is arranged this way, right? So it's like a fret apart. Same goes with the D string. Now, if you get to the next G, getting to the B string, the D is now a fret higher. So this can cause confusion. So make sure that when you're visualizing the guitar, and I'm sure a lot of you have figured this out, but when I was starting out, this always confused me. That's why we have guitar players who uses the fourths tuning, where the E, they tune it as F, and the B is tuned as C, so that everything is gonna be the same wherever you are on the neck. You can check out guitar players like Alex Hutchings or Tom Quayle. Okay, after practicing with the chromatic scale, in the examples we started in E, then played all of the available notes in half steps in between, and ended with a higher E or lower E. From observation, we can now define the chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is a sequence of 12 notes arranged in half steps. If there are 12 notes in the chromatic scale, that means we can also have 12 chromatic scales. You guys can spend a few weeks adding 15 minutes in your normal practice routine working on all 12 chromatic scales. If you are interested in the other things that I do, you can check out my band Gloryfall, found here. We produce original music and we have songs available on Spotify. Make sure you check them out. I hope that you guys learned something from this video. On the next one, we will be learning about intervals, melodic and harmonic intervals, which are the building blocks that you need in learning the musical language. Stay tuned for that, and if you find this video helpful, please consider sharing it with your friends. Thank you and see you later.